Good day, everybody. It's another day, and today, well, I got the actual new welding in there because I ran out. So, got that ordered in. Gonna be welding a bunch of stuff up here as soon as I get this all set up. Over here is the front suspension. I went ahead and started taking a lot of stuff apart, and I went ahead and also, and if you can see that, I mean, that's a little bit too much. But yeah, you can see that I actually started getting a lot of the welding done and reinforced. This whole area I cut out. So this is gonna end up fitting kind of like in there, like that, in a way. So I'm starting to clean up some of the metal and get some of that, all the rust off and everything. Nothing too far all the way back there. I'm just concentrating kind of towards the front. I'm working on the front suspension, and when I'm done with the front suspension and getting it all welded in, so I still have that plate that I want to weld in, but I haven't welded it yet because one, I ran out, okay, but besides that, I want to make sure that that's actually going to be the right angle. So I've just been trying to clean it up and re-weld a lot because there was like nothing pretty much holding in there. So that's why I added that, and I got some more welding wire. So that's pretty much where I'm at. If you want to call these tie rods, I have never seen anybody put together a set of tie rods. Like, can I? Yep, that's a bad blade. Let me just... Awesome. Look at that. Just... Who's behind the wheel here? Like, I don't know what in the world. I mean, I can see this, okay, if you're really having, you know, to do some backyard engineering, alright? Because it's just a straight rod on straight rod. I can honestly see that. But what in the world? That is something else. So that's the plate actually bolted on. So that's what I've been up to this week, and I will continue to make this better and try to get this on the road, because I'm sure you want to hear this thing run. I want to hear this thing run. I want to see the lights light up, and well, I mean, I just want to take it down the road. So front suspension should be okay, especially once I get this reinforcement in there and I know where the steering rack is going to be, or steering column, steering intermediate shaft. Yeah, that piece. Okay. So once I get that figured out and actually up to the steering wheel, then obviously I'll be able to do something else. I don't have any front brakes on this yet, but I'm hoping that the rear brake works. Hoping. I haven't even dealt with that yet because I haven't even heard this thing run. I haven't tried to put a battery to it or anything. I still have the... What is that? The gas tank. Wow. Brain fart. So I still have the gas tank up there from the actual riding lawnmower, and I think that'll be a great one. So I am going to keep putting this together because I still have to pull all the old wire out and then pretty much refeed that back in and make sure that everything's good. It's only a Chicago Electric Harbor Freight, you know, I think it's like $80 new or something like that, but it's only that welder. It's a flux wire welder, so nothing too special, but still something that can get the job done. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and test this new type of wire, and yeah, see how it does. So I got it off of Amazon, and I guess it's Amazon's choice. So let me get some more welding done and see where I'm at from there, because I'm trying to keep you guys updated pretty much every week for this year. It's not going to be easy, but I'm definitely going to give her a go and try that, and I definitely want to keep you guys in the loop, because there's a lot of stuff, little miniature stuff going on. Ugh. Alright, a few chisel smacks later. Yep, trash can fell behind me. Awesome. So, a few chisel smacks later, and I got this apart, like literally four or five little smacks. So, I don't know who in just look at this. Would you take a look at this? Just, what in the hell are people thinking with that? It's not even welded all the way either. It's a huge gap in that way, and, so anyway, that's gotta be all, taken apart, welded, or unwelded, pretty much. So once I get this unwelded, then I'll get it all nice and cleaned up and ready. At least this one has like 70% of the boot, maybe. I mean, it may not exactly be, you know, sealed, but it's got a little bit of the boot there. Yeah, nice. Alright, so got a lot of cleaning done in here, if you can't tell. Like that's all, you know, good compost, don't mind that. But a lot of things are looking a lot cleaner in here, leaving me a lot more room, even though I have the mower in here. That I have a lot more room to actually work on this now. So what I would like to do is get this running. But unfortunately, I'm sure everybody and their dad has heard the saying, when it rains, it pours. Well, I got the parts in for this beauty, and next thing you know, my wife's car wanted to say, hey, I want some attention too. Don't forget about me. Well, I gotta order some parts and for that, so then she has her ride to work and everything. I'd let her drive the Z. I'm not a stingy person like that or anything, but she really does not like to drive that the stick shift in general. So she's just not a stick shift type of person, which is, it's fine. You know, I'd like her to be, but oh well, it is what it is. So I've got to now stop working on this and start getting everything ready to get parts for that. Well, the Honda's in that spot. Imagine this is open and the Honda's right there. So anyway, that's where pretty much I gotta get parts for that. And so then she has her ride to work and I don't have to take her in the truck, which, imagine it right there, okay, right next to the Honda outside, okay, truck is right there. That one, still running pretty darn good. It's almost time for an oil change on that thing, but overall it is running pretty darn well. I'd like to do some spark plugs and coils, if not just a little bit of regular maintenance on that truck that you're imagining right there. But yeah, the Z is still down, getting all kinds of things just closely up against it, or up against it just barely. But any which way, I gotta get that thing running. So I've got to get the Honda running first before I even get this running, because I was just in the middle of really tearing this down. And she was like, what? Why is it like hissing at me? And I was like, what are you talking about? So yeah, gotta go solve the hissing problem, which I already know what it is, but yeah, gotta go do that. That will be definitely sooner than later, because it's really taxing on my gas tank in the truck, trying to take her to work and then go back and then do my own work and then come back and then go back to go pick her up and then come back. So it's a lot of gas back and forth trying to get her. So yeah, name of the game is to get her on the fucking road by herself so she can drive herself. She's more than capable of driving automatic. It's just the stick shift is a little bit too touchy for her. I don't know. She just doesn't have the foot finesse. I don't know. But I've got plans for this. I've already thought about doing a lot of different changes. I've sat in here and I'll definitely walk through each one with you as I go through it. As you see, I've already went ahead and, I think before I showed you that, but I welded up a lot of different little spots here and there. A lot of things are getting greased and pretty much ready for any kind of disassembly if it needs to be disassembled. I do have this still here. I'm going to end up cleaning up that soon, but this is pretty much where I'm at. And I need to, because I was going to actually try and start the thing before, you know, I ended the video, but I did the wiring and I need to finish doing the wiring up there and connecting all that to the battery and however they have it hooked up in the back there. But the thing is, and I guess that's a sneak peek, but I think sitting in there, my head is like so close to this bar, and thinking that this is an off-road vehicle, I really think that that's gonna be like really crushing my head. So I'm really thinking about cutting that back at that joint right there, which would leave this dangling, or this light bar dangling there, but I don't want it to dangle dangerously, so I'm gonna end up probably reinforcing it in the middle to here, but I don't want it to bring another bar even closer to the headroom and headspace or whatever for bumping around and things like that. So got to think about that. I don't know if I want to necessarily take off these lights. I mean, it would be a lot easier and smarter just to put them either back there on that blue bar or up front, where lights usually, you know, are more effective when you're trying to go that route. So yeah, that's gonna probably end up getting chopped up. I will be end up using this metal here and pretty much cutting it up and reinforcing a lot of this front end, because I still don't like the way that it's designed. So if you're really trying to off-road and actually jump this thing a little bit, then I feel like that front end might just cave in on itself. So got a lot of thinking to do, got a lot of things to plan, got some parts to order, so everything's in the motion. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to actually get this thing running today, because I still don't have the battery on there, which I'm just going to take that one over there, but then I have to jack it up and make sure the tires are off the ground, and I don't know if it's actually going to stop or start for that matter. But yeah, either way, I mean, I think I want to get this thing running just to see if the motor runs or not, or if I have to actually get a spare engine. We'll just call it a spare engine right now, because I might actually be getting a sport bike engine and put it on the back of here, because I bet you that would spin these tires and have a lot more fun going down the road, or off-road I should say, than this little 150cc, even though the 150 is supposed to be enough to, you know, get you around town, or around the tree, around the bush. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching. I really do. That means a lot to me. Thanks for subscribing and liking, and even all the comments. I really do appreciate all that. So don't think that it's not unnoticed. Like, I really do notice all of it, and I appreciate every last one of them. So thank you all. I hope you all have a stupendously well day, and I will definitely see you next weekend, because that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to do this as a every weekend thing. I'm trying to update you. It doesn't matter where I'm at, but I'm going to try and update you every weekend, because there's a lot of things going on. Because like I said, as you see, I'm trying to work on this, and then next thing you know, Honda needs work. This needs work. This needed work, but I didn't show you guys that. A wheel bearing. A bearing blew up, and whole spindle was about $300, but I replaced it for about 20 bucks. So rebuilt it, not that hard. It was great, saving, you know, 280 some odd dollars. So thanks again for watching. I will definitely see you next time. Have a great day.